Detroit and Baltimore. So if you go from at the midway point of the season, you're a cream of the crop contender, to you snap the Bears' 7-game losing streak, or however many games it is at this point. I don't even. They were 4-2, 6-game losing streak, and like there is a lot on the line. Even if it's not all on him, there's a lot on the line here. That's undeniable.
All right, well, it's time now for a segment so hot my grandmother puts it in her canteen when she goes on hiking trips. It's upset alert.
She still hikes?
No, she actually is spending some time in nature, but it's not hiking.
Tough week for you guys on upset alert. Coach got you guys a point, but you guys have been stuck on these numbers
Wilds
for a
and
while.
I haven't, we haven't moved.
We're stuck.
Wilds got one a couple weeks ago. Brew, I don't think, has gotten one since we had Parkins on the desk.
I also would like to say thank you for not deducting points for that Titans pick last week.
Yeah,
second half saved.
We looked at it. The bylaws did say if a team you pick loses by more than 40, you get a deduction. It's on there, but they didn't, so don't you worry about it.
Okay. Greg, are you up first?
I am up first.
Here we go.
And so let me just say this. Coach and I, we've been trying to be complimentary of the team.
Let them back in.
And let you back in it.
Thank
And
you.
now we're like, you know what, forget it. Let's just go. They don't want to win. So we're going to be great. Look, I got the Jets.
What? What? Doesn't really
After
vibe
that
what you just
intro?
said.
Yeah, man. I know.
Okay.
I know.
At the Dolphins.
At the Dolphins. Look.
In Miami?
In Miami, and they're up against it because look, the Jets haven't had success in Miami in a while. They haven't scored a offensive touchdown since 21. They haven't won a game in Miami since 2014. Rex Ryan was the head coach. However,
What?
yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers' time. He's finally going to bring his A game. And you know what? You know what's going to happen?
What?
Everyone's going to buy in and subscribe to the idea that, did you see that? Did you see what he did against Miami?
It is warm.
He has to be our
I'll
guy.
tell you what, the elderly do like
come on, talk to
Southern
me, Wild.
Florida.
Everything leads to, man, great weather. You got everything's going to be laid up for you. We got everybody against you right now. They're saying, you know what? You got to prove yourself.
Victory Monday at Mar-a-Lago.
You got to prove yourself. You know what? Devontae Adams has been over here. You and Devontae haven't had any flashback moments. Well, you know what? Every once in a while, you have a great game. You have a moment. And this week against the Miami Dolphins is just what you need. Defenses are pretty much right there in the same area, 14th and 15th in the league. Offenses are about the same, 26th and 27th or whatever the numbers are. Aaron Rodgers, are you better than Tua? Can you be better than Tua for a day?
Not right now.
I think you can.
Were those offensive numbers counted when Tua wasn't in the mix?
It's the whole season.
Yeah, it's the whole season.
Well, that's
Josh,
there's a huge
What do you
difference.
mean? It's the season. Come on.
There's
a
their
huge
teams.
difference when they got
Wilds loves
Josh.
to do these things like Jared Goff. If you take out the 5-interception game, never throws picks. If you take out these games that were played
without your
Didn't
quarterback.
Nick just run a video earlier in the week where we took away Bo Nix's
I don't remember
90-yard pass?
for the record, and I
75
prefaced
yard
it with
touchdown
this is wildly unfair.
Yeah.
So I thought Greg, I thought it was a great point.
Not bad.
By the way, also, I don't know if you guys saw Woody Johnson not getting the ambassadorship to the UK.
Uh-oh.
Someone else got named that. So maybe Aaron's like, man, if he sure seems like he wants to stay with the Jets.
Woody's taking shots. I mean, the other way around, Aaron's taking shots at Woody.
He's got to, go on the offensive here. I like Greg's pick. I like it.
Something.
8.5 point or 2. Good job, Greg. It's a lot better than this
Here we
dopey
go.
one.
Everybody loves my pick. Greg, you know this would have been your pick.
No.
This would have been your pick. I've been saying it for 2 days. Chargers over the Chiefs.
I do like this.
Yes. All right. We said it a little bit earlier. They were up 10-0, which I know the Chiefs come back a lot from 10-0, but still up 10-0 in that first game when they played the Chiefs and lost just by a touchdown, 17-10. All right, and that's when the Chiefs defense was cooking. All right, hadn't been cooking so much recently. That's also when Justin Herbert wasn't throwing the football like he is now. In September, he had no 200-yard passing games, including that one. 6 of his last 8 games, he's thrown for 200 or more yards, thrown for over 300, thrown for over 250 several times. Like Justin, and you said it earlier, Nick, the Chiefs are vulnerable against the pass right now. And so I do think this is a game where Justin Herbert gets out there and slings it, and Jim Harbaugh makes some noise. Yes, this is the Chargers. It doesn't. Obviously, the Chiefs are still going to be rolling this year, but they're not going 16-1. Their division, a division game as well. The 2 games they almost lost. I mean, Carolina kinda, sorta, but the Raiders and the Broncos, division games. No coincidence.
That's true.
This was a layup.
You want to?
Yeah, I'd like to respond. The Chargers. I don't know how many people nationally watched Chargers Falcons closely. When I say the Chargers played the worst anyone has played in a win all year, I mean it. And that Falcons defense is dreadful. Chargers scored 10 offensive points. They had what's the quarterback's? Kirk Cousins knuckleball returned for a touchdown. And oddly, the Falcons moved the ball at will in that game. Kirk just gave it up. So it was a bad defensive game for the Chargers from a yards perspective. And their offense, especially with Ladd dinged up, Trent McDuffie's natural spot is slot corner. If Ladd's playing, Trent McDuffie will erase him. I just don't know how the Chargers break 13 points in this game.
You know why they struggled against Atlanta?
I don't.
They were looking ahead.
Big
Chiefs game.
Oh.
They're looking ahead. It's natural.
Okay, maybe.
Human instinct.
Okay. Time now for the Punxsutawney Phil of football to make his upset alert pick. I'm also a bit of a wordsmith. I came up with the Punxsutawney Phil of football. Iron sharpens iron. Defense wins championships. I'm going to debut Achilles heel when it's not just your Achilles heel if something's bad. I've got a new one. Been watching the league for a long time. One team does something, other team does it. Copycat league. So this is, I'm going to put it into effect. Copycat league. Bryce Young not playing great, right? Goes to the bench, comes back, plays better. Anthony Richardson not playing great, goes to the bench, plays better. OKW, Punxsutawney Phil of football, not playing great, headed to the bench. Calling in somebody to make my pick. The most accurate prognosticator of all of Fox, if not all of FS1, if not all of sports media, Danny Parkins.
Danny?
Wow.
Take it away.
Wilds, happy to step in for you on Upset Alert. It was smart of you to go to the #1 prognosticator in America, and certainly at Fox Sports 1. Yeah, you could have gone to your right and asked the guy who's approaching 60%, but 27-15 against the spread is my record. Undefeated 4-0 last week, and the beauty for me and my picks is I don't let it change me. I'm the same guy despite being the #1 handicapper in America on national television. So my upset alert for you, my friend, this week is the Kirk Cousins revenge game. He goes back to Minnesota, and the Atlanta Falcons pull off the upset as a 6-point underdog. The Minnesota Vikings, frankly, after that 5-game start to the season, have not been that impressive, outscoring their opponents by an average of only 2 points per game. And you might be scared of the 4 interceptions that Kirk Cousins threw last week. Maybe someone to your right would say something like that and fade Kirk Cousins. That's ridiculous. He's been hot and cold this year, but he knows Brian Flores' defense. He's a smart quarterback. He's not going to be intimidated by those blitzes. He's obviously in a familiar dome. The revenge factor, the playoffs on the line. I expect a bounce back from a guy who I still think can win Comeback Player of the Year, by the way, in Kirk Cousins. So sure, Nick's picks, flirting with 60%. I look down on that for my 64% perch, and I've got the Falcons pulling off the upset over the Minnesota Vikings. Back to you, Wilds.
I might be on the bench, but I got the Falcons. That counts.
That's a good one, Wild.
Yeah, it's a great one. Thank you.
Can I say something?
He was impressive,
Before we
too.
get to next picks?
Yes.
So I've known Danny for 17 years.
Okay.
We were in each other's weddings. His first time on FS1 was sitting right where Greg is, right there. Some would say he's my best friend. I have never rooted for another person's downfall like I have Danny in his picks right now. It is true that of everyone in the national media, he has the best record against the spread.
He's on fire.
Normally, you'd be like, oh, you should be happy. That's your dear friend and network teammate. The problem is, you know who's second best in all of national media record against the spread? This guy.
No one cares about that.
Nobody cares.
It doesn't matter.
Right, which is why I need him to go 0-3. I don't know what his other picks were this week. I actually do, because I was watching talking him this morning on breakfast ball from his stupid throat. That's my throat. We bought that with the Chiefs won their second Super Bowl.
We rented it.
Whatever it is, it's my. Go to Nick's picks. God, dog, that makes me mad. Nick's picks. And he's right. 60% against the spread. Fresh off another 3-0 weekend. Bears, 10-point underdogs against the Lions. Damn near won outright. Chargers, 2.5-point favorites against Falcons. That one, I'll be honest, is a little nervous at times. But Steelers, 3-point underdogs. They do win outright. 23-15-1. Which Danny, so if I have this right, Danny said, what did he say he was? Kept saying it 27-14. So 27-15. So if he goes 0-3, he's 27-18. And I go even just 2-1, much less 3-0.
See it.
A little flip-flop. That's coming this week. First pick, let's go. All right, we're going to start with the Giants. Here's the deal, guys. The Saints, oddly, without Taysom Hill, can't move the football. They just can't, and they're laying 5 points. Derek Carr, as a road favorite, he's been a road favorite 16 times in his career. He's covered the spread once. Derek Carr is a favorite in general. He's the worst against the spread quarterback in the last 20 years in the NFL. The Giants have failed to cover 7 straight weeks, so Vegas just keeps giving them more and more and more points because people keep fading the Giants. Now it's too much. I'm sorry. The New Orleans Saints should not be 5-point road favorites over anyone. I don't care who the Giants quarterback is. Giants +5. All right, this next one, I like to call this the Andy Reid corollary. So I'm going to take the Titans and Will Levis laying 3 points.
Wow.
So here's the rationale. Wilds.
Yeah.
Andy Reid off a bye. What is it? Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Great coach, great players, extra time to prepare. The better they are. Corollary of that. If you're truly terrible, the less time you have to prepare, the better. So Mac Jones not planning to play. Trevor gets hurt. He goes in. Oh, that's like the best version of Mac Jones we've seen in years. Mac Jones with a week to prepare, get all Mac Jonesy. Guess what? We've seen that before.
I try to do too much.
They lose 52-6.
Too much.
Yeah.
That's not relevant.
I'm just telling you.
That's not
that
relevant.
guy. That's what he's been doing all week.
hasn't done that in a
All
while.
this Mac Jones stuff. This is likely the last time
darn it.
any of us will ever be allowed or able to bet against Mac Jones and lay less than a touchdown.
Quarterback controversy.
Titans laying 3. And last but not least, the game we talked about already, I think the Rams went outright. So I certainly love them +3.5. I don't know why. I just have seared into my brain. Final score 27-24. I think the Rams win it, but maybe the Bills win it. Either way, you're giving me the home team, the better coach, a quarterback that at his best is as good, and a desperate team and more than a field goal. I'll take the Rams +3.5 for another 3-0 week. So we've got the Giants getting 5, the Titans laying just a field goal against the worst quarterback in the NFL the last decade, and the Rams +3.5. That's how I'm going to jump over Danny Parkins. And how dare you? How dare you bring him on here to rub his success in my face?
Fucking W's. And I'm a team player.
You know what
For
he
all of
does? You know
FS1.
what he does, Wilds? He actually sees the
Oh,
NFL
that's what he
very
always
quick.
says. I'm seeing the league very clearly. I'm seeing the league. I've been hearing this since he was
Hey,
smoking
Danny.
weed in my dorm room 20 years ago.
You know what?
It's legal.
Wow.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.